This evening, let's explore an excerpt from Bhikkhu Bodhi's In the Buddha's Words. And then, let's meditate. Oopsie, wrong button. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is brought to you by the good-hearted folks who help support this channel on Patreon. This evening, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two, but first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as transformatively as young Luke Skywalker upon Dagobah under the guidance of Yoda, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Good news. If at any time at all during this evening's live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, all you gotta do is type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Many who have read these larger works have told me to my satisfaction that the translations brought the sutras to life for them. Yet others who earnestly sought to enter the deep ocean of the Nikayas told me something else. They said that while the language of the translations made them far more accessible than earlier translations, they were still grappling for a standpoint from which to see the suttas' overall structure, a framework within which they all fit together. The Nikayas themselves do not offer much help in this respect for their arrangement, with the notable exception of the Samyutta Nikaya, which does have a thematic structure, appears almost haphazard. On that bummer, we shall conclude this evening's excerpt and hopefully continue in approximately 12 hours. See, I get to transcribe. We turn now to this evening's practice text, whose title is Secular Contemplation, Mindfulness, and Meditation. No faith, no belief, no prayers, no mantras, just contemplation and meditation. This is adapted from the Anapanasati Sutta, one of Buddhism's oldest and most beloved meditation manuals. So, we can think of meditation in terms of three things: what we do with our mind, what we do with our breath, and what we do with our body. So physically, simply emulate this statue. So with your legs comfortably crossed, opening from the hips, not the knees, with a subtle smile on your face, and generate traction, gentle traction between your pelvis and your head. So this is divided, this is organized according to the four bases of mindfulness: circumstance, body, feelings, and mind. We begin with the first quarter. Dhamma Sati, or Anicca Vipassanas, set of 4 impermanence contemplations to help us sustainably let go. This is great whenever you're experiencing stress, be it circumstantial or physical or interpersonal or mental. At the top of the next 16 pages, you'll see something along the lines of this. And it gives you basically a homework assignment. If you wish to take a gradual approach to mastery of the Buddha's path in less than a year, a great way to begin is to master the 16 techniques offered in the Anapanasati over a 16-week period. And so basically you start off about meditating about 3 or 3.5 minutes every 12 hours the first week. And every week that increases by that same amount. So every week it's an additional 3.5 minutes until eventually you're styling at about an hour twice a day. The benefit of progressing gradually is that it gives you, your significant other, and your pets and your children chance to get the idea that you're not going to leave them, you're not going to shave your head, you're not going to join a monastery. You're just doing this little add-on to your life to make yourself, just to become the better version of yourself. And as the weeks go by, those who you live with, pets, partners, children, will feel less threatened and actually become encouraging to you, which is quite lovely. So we start with the first of 4 contemplations. You see, we're going to play with 4 contemplations and 12 meditations. Now, this whole bit with 16 exercises can feel overwhelming to life forms such as ourselves with only 5 digits per appendage. Therefore, it's easier to think of it in terms of one set of 4 contemplations followed by 3 sets of 4 meditations. For some reason, chunking it down makes it feel less overwhelming. So we begin with the first of 4 contemplations. Oh, hello, let's see here. Buwan Gum. Welcome aboard, glad you can join me. When you have a question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. So our contemplations are going to be a series of 4 rhetorical questions. A rhetorical question, by the way, by the very definition, means we do not ask it to figure out an answer or to receive an answer. If all we do is silently and mentally recite these 4 rhetorical questions, and we do so silently and mentally and in harmony with our inhalation and our exhalation and our relaxation, I guarantee you will make progress on the path. This evening, not in 12 lifetimes from now, tonight. During your inhalation, silently and mentally recite the word what. You'll want to breathe sharp and short, and your exhalation gets to be longer and softer. So the question we're playing with is what changing? Let's play with it right now. On the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll notice that it reads 2 sets of 16 rounds. In this system, a round is 1 inhalation followed by 1 exhalation, and we can count them upon the creases and tips of our left 4 fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we count the rounds on our left hand. We count the sets on our right hand. For the first exercise, we'll count the first set on our little fingers, lower crease. And then the second set on our little fingers, second crease. On the second exercise, we'll do the same thing on our ring finger. On the third exercise, we'll do the same thing on our middle finger. And on the fourth exercise, we'll do the same thing on our index finger. Now, for those of you who really want to maximize the productivity, I recommend is you hold your hands in your lap in front of your tummy. And for these first 4 exercises, I recommend touching the tip of your ring finger on your right hand to the great knuckle at the base of your left ring finger as you fold your hands in your lap with the palms facing the ceiling. Let's continue. We come now to the second of 4 contemplations, where we consider subtle impermanence with the rhetorical question, what is fading? We come to the third of four contemplations, where we consider very subtle impermanence, with the rhetorical question, what is ceasing? We come to the fourth of four contemplations, where we consider relinquishing, yielding, surrendering. As silently and mentally we recite, what's releasing? We continue with Kaya Sati's only set of 4 preliminary meditations to center on our bodies. For the next 4 exercises, if you wish, you may touch the tip of your right little finger to the great knuckle at the base of your left little finger. And of course, you will hold these hands, you will stack these hands in your lap. We begin with the first of centering's 4 physical preliminary practices, where during the inhalation, we silently and mentally recite the verb calm. And during our exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the phrase breathing long. This reminds us that when our exhalation is longer than our inhalation, it can be calming. We come to the second of centering's 4 physical preliminary practices. During the inhalation, we silently and mentally recite the adjective short. During the exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the 3-syllable verb energize. This reminds us that when our in-breath is shorter than our out-breath, it can be energizing. We come to the third of Centering's 4 physical preliminary practices. During the in-breath, we silently and mentally recite the sensory verb feel. During the exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the object phrase, this body. This is our first sample of bliss. Now, in Buddhism, when we say bliss, we mean any type of sensation, physical or emotional, that is not painful. Quick reminder, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And so people think they're supposed to concentrate or they're supposed to mind blank. But that's horribly inaccurate. We evolved, or I should say our sympathetic nervous systems evolved, not to concentrate, not to suppress thought, but to notice. To notice sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, including emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. So as you play with this, it's completely natural and even beneficial for your mind to notice all sorts of things. Whether the things you notice are external or internal or physical or mental or pleasurable or painful or interesting or boring or glorious or grotesque. We come to the fourth of Centering's 4 physical preliminary practices. During the inhalation, we silently and mentally recite the noun form, which serves as a simile, not simile, a synonym for body. During our exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the the three-syllable verb relaxing. Now, this is our first of many relaxing exercises. And when we do this, this is our first time this evening to sample physical emptiness. Now, in Buddhism, emptiness should not be taken literally, but figuratively. Think of it this way. As we breathe in, we notice our body. As we relax into our exhalation, this exact same body we noticed during our inhalation could now feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast, empty void. Now, any good English teacher will explain to you that a simile is only as powerful as it is relatable. So, therefore, what is a real-world example of a non-graspable, vast, empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although could be tantalizing to the eye, is non-graspable to the fingers? We continue with Vedana Sati's first set of 4 jhana meditations that center on our feelings. Okay, so there's going to be two sets of 4 jhana meditations. The second will focus on our mind. This one will focus on our feelings. I hope I've made that clear. Oh, excuse me. We come to the first of 4 feeling-oriented centering practices, where we savor the first jhana's blissful joy. This flows from our practice of gently grinning with the corners of our mouth, the apples of our cheeks, and the crow's feet of our eye, and we smile towards our bodies of flesh, blood, and bone. As we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite the verb grin, and as we exhale, we silently and mentally recite the object phrase to body. If you want, so what I'm doing is we're holding our hands in our laps. And if you want to, you can take the tip of your right middle finger and touch it to the great knuckle at the base of your left middle finger. We come to the second of 4 feeling-oriented centering practices, where we savor the second jhana's peaceful joy. This time, instead of grinning at our body, we're grinning at our thoughts, but we're using thought as an umbrella term for our emotions, intentions, reasoning, recollection, and imagination. Grin to these thoughts. This brings us to the third of four feeling-oriented centering practices, where we savor the third jhana's contentment. As we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite the verb feel. And as we exhale, we silently and mentally recite thoughts, contents, like a content creator. This brings us to the fourth of four feeling-oriented centering practices, where we savor the fourth jhana's neutrality. As we breathe in, we silently, mentally recite the noun thoughts. During the exhalation, we silently and mentally recite the three-syllable verb relaxing. If you've just joined us, welcome aboard. If at any point during the remainder of this live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. We continue with and conclude with Chitta Sati's second of two sets of 4 jhana meditations. Whoopsie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one centers our mind. We come to the first of 4 mind-oriented centering practices. Well, before we go any further, while we're holding our hands in our lap, I recommend touching the tip of your index finger to the great big knuckle at the base, the tip of your right index finger to the great big knuckle at the base of your left middle finger. We come to the first of 4 mind-oriented centering practices where we savor the 5th jhana's sphere of infinite spaciousness, which is our freedom from physical compression. As we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite the sensory verb watch. As we exhale, we silently and mentally recite the object phrase mind's contents, like a box's contents, and we're using mind as an umbrella term for our ability to see, hear, feel, taste, smell, and the like. We come to the second of 4 mind-oriented centering practices, where we savor the 6th jhana's sphere of infinite awareness, which is freedom from mental compression. As we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite the verb grin. And as we exhale, we silently and mentally recite the phrase, to this mind. We come to the third of 4 mind-oriented centering practices, where we savor the 7th jhana sphere of non-graspability. The method is remarkably easy. As we breathe in, we silently and mentally recite the umbrella term mind. And as we exhale, we silently and mentally recite the 3-syllable mantra, relaxing. We come now to this evening's fourth of 4 mind-oriented centering practices. This is this evening's final meditation, so really make the most of it. As we breathe in, again, we silently and mentally recite the umbrella term mind. And when I say an umbrella term, I mean it refers to our subtle capacity to perceive sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like. During our exhalation, let's silently and mentally recite the verb phrase, now freeing. If you feel that I have earned it, you could type something in the chat window. You could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could share it with a friend. You could even help support this channel on Patreon. In approximately 10 3/4 hours, I intend to return to lead tomorrow's early morning meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.